everyone, I'm Alex Wright, here with your Hollywood Minute. And this week we got to sit down with director and USC alum Luke Greenfield, director of The Animal and the Girl Next Door, and he talked with us about one of his early influences, Steven Spielberg.
My mom's a great writer, and she wrote this really passionate letter to Steven when I was 16. I didn't even know she was doing it, and she enclosed 2 of my high school films in this package with like this research paper I had written. I'm dating myself, like back in like '87, and the title of the research paper was Steven Spielberg, the star they wouldn't let shine. Because at the time he was being snubbed by the Oscars all the time for The Color Purple and Empire of the Sun, and he wasn't being taken seriously. And a miracle happened. Well, my mom forgot the return address. So we don't really know how, but somehow Steven had read my mom's letter and watched my high school films and read my research paper, and he wrote me this incredible letter back, really encouraging me to go to film school. And yes, Mrs. Greenfield, he should become a director and don't worry about it. And I think he has what it takes. And
Greenfield also talked about his involvement in The Girl Next Door.
I mean, nothing really existed. It was a much different movie. I really want to make a volatile, unpredictable kind of thrill ride film about a kid who is going to risk it all and get into a lot of danger. And the original script was, I mean, it was much more in like a Porky's kind of tone. I mean, I just wanted to make it kind of earnest and genuine, and to have real characters that we can relate to, and kind of keep it in a grounded, real world, so that when you're watching it, you're kind of thinking as the main character, as Emile Hirsch, like, what would you do? What would you do if this guy Kelly's coming after you? What would you do if this girl's in trouble and you kind of have to help her out, but you could risk everything?
But movies aren't Greenfield's only project, as he's just released a new show on the CW, Aliens.
Appreciate a raised hand. Okay, now who else is angry at Raja?
Sadly, this was the highlight of Raja's day.
I was so against it. I don't want to do a pilot unless I write it and unless I have control, because TV's a whole different animal. But I read the script, Aliens in America, and it was one of the best scripts I ever read. And it was very rare for me to read something and love it so much. And when I met the creators who had written the show, I actually loved it more than they did.
But that's not all that's happening, as Hollywood is bracing itself for a shutdown, which is scheduled to happen in about a week if the Writers Guild of America does not accept a new contract from the major Hollywood studios. The trade paper, Variety, reports that a strike is still looming even after intense negotiations, and the strike is expected to hit many of the fall's new shows hard. Check back next week, as we'll have more on the WGA strike. But lastly, don't forget what's coming out in theaters this week, as Steve Carell plays Family Man in Dan in Real Life.
2 years.
Dad!
There goes Jane's college education. There goes Kara's.
What about mine?
Oh, you're good. Ah, no, wait. There it goes.
And Clint Eastwood's daughter Allison helms her first project in the drama Rails and Ties.
Did your dad like trains?
I never knew him.
I didn't know mine either.
What the hell are we doing?
And that's a wrap from Hollywood. I'm Alex Wright from the University of Southern California for OSTN News.